at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your world, it's who you are. You determine who you are in your life, not other people. Other people's projections are merely suggestions, and you don't have to take them. So let's dig deeper into this. So I want to talk about how to handle other people's projection on you. And I think that intellectually it's so easy to think that, oh, let's not think about what other people say, let's not think about, just focus on what we do, and that's all we need to do. But I would say, based on experience, that other people know that their projection on other people is very strong and sometimes effective. That's why they do it to so many people, especially when they don't want other people to succeed. They don't want to see other people succeed. And we see this so much in, like, in celebrities, in people who are rising up, and then next thing you know, you ask, where are these people who are supposed to be famous, and they're gone. They go to the sidelines because there's a big pressure on people from society because we are social beings, and there's a degree in us who cares about what other people think, who cares about what other people say, because we are in a society and we're supposed to survive with other people. We're social beings. So that's why sometimes it's not enough to say that, okay, let's not just pay attention to this. There's a lot that goes into handling other people's projection, and I want to tell you the basics of how, so that you can have the tools and skills to deal with this every day in your everyday life, if you have to. I hope you don't have to, but if you have to, it's nice to have this knowledge. So I want to start with, like, the foundation of it, or the context. If you know about the law of attraction, which, there's a lot of YouTube videos about that, but to me, I do consider that in my everyday life, because I see it and experience it in my everyday life. Now, the summary, if you don't know it, the summary of the law of attraction is that like attracts like, and your energy, your thoughts affect your reality. And so the external world is simply a reflection of your internal world. That can, to some people, that may sound like, it justifies what happens around you, or what other people do around you. But if you look at it in a good way, in a better way, if you have a better attitude toward it, you can also look at it as everything is in your control. Because if you are in control of your internal world, then you can manifest pretty much anything in your outer world. So this is very important in handling other people's projection, because first, you recognize that whatever you experience in your world tells you something about what you need to work on within you, right? So these people who are projecting certain things to you can be a wake-up call in the way the universe tells you that there's some unresolved issues that you need to look within yourself. Now, this video is not going to be about that. There's a lot of videos in YouTube about shadow work and everything, and you can research about that, So that could be your assignment if you have to know more about that. Now, the insidious thing about other people's projection is that they are thought forms from other people, right? They are thought forms that are sometimes verbalized explicitly to you, said explicitly to you, or showed explicitly to you through media, through posts, through messages. And they become crystallized, especially if other people agree with them. And that's why, gossiping sometimes works, because the more people think about the same thing, the more this energy thought form becomes heavier and denser and more physical, more real. And sometimes you can feel the heaviness in a space when a lot of people carry a certain vibe. It becomes a vibe that you feel, especially if you're sensitive to that. So when other people are projecting something on you, it can feel really real. It can, and yeah, it's like it becomes a manifestation in reality. And so that can affect your own thought process. That can even take away your focus on what you should be focusing on, which is yourself and your life, and creating the life that you want. It distracts you and put your attention to what they're saying, and then now you have to process what they're saying, and there is a high probability that you're going to embody the energy of what they're saying. And sometimes this is a trap because it can lead to kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you succumb to what other people say, and then you succumb to what you eventually believe into in the process. So, have you heard of that story when someone accuses someone of being a liar, a cheater, and even if they started not to be that, they become that, and then it just proves what they accuse the person of. Because the energy is like the basis of the universe, and so it's really sometimes hard to escape it when you start to embody it, and it becomes bigger and bigger. Especially if the energy is negative and very dense and heavy, it can put you off balance, and it can put your clarity and your peace of mind out of your existence. And when you are out of balance, and when you're out of your peace of mind, it's going to be harder to make the right decisions and do the right actions. So that's how it's not to be taken lightly when someone projects something on you. It's something that you need to work on. And there's several ways to address this. But the point is, you need to kind of like put an assertive energy, not to take on this projection or this energy. And there's several ways to do this. One is to handle this one externally, which is to speak up, to explain yourself. And there are times when you don't have to explain yourself. Like, you just let your actions, your character speak for itself, for yourself. But there are also moments when you have to state what you have to state, when you have to say the truth, when you have to show a character from yourself that embodies an example of being balanced, of being mature, of being higher being. Now, it's up to you to discern what is appropriate for what situation. This video is a general video, so don't take this as an advice to your specific situation. Consult a coach or whoever is you think is appropriate for that, to be consulted for that. But yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is to literally get a lawyer sometimes, or get a second opinion from other people you really trust. Get information, research from other people to know your rights, or something like that. Like, there are some things that you may need to do in your external world to kind of address this thought form that you don't want to blow up. You have to do something to kind of assert your frame, as Aaron Doughty says. You have to sometimes assert your frame, not because you want to dominate or control the world or the situation, but because you want to be able to express who you authentically really are in this world. And each person has the right to express who they are authentically really are in this world, and that's your right. So as long as you're coming from that intention, then you're doing what you're supposed to do for yourself, and you have yourselves back, right? The second thing you can do is to do your inner work. You don't, after you deal with the external world, if you have to, or maybe you don't have to, you have to deal with your internal world. Personally, for me, what's been working for me recently is I have been writing down my insecurities, my triggers. It really helps me when I write them down, because I see it. And then I reframe it. I release what I need to release. I release the energy that I need to release, and I reframe it. So that's one example, but there's so many, like meditation, or there's so many things to do with the shadows within yourself that is being triggered by this projection. Because usually people project what they can sense is your weakness. So if you haven't dealt that within yourself, you will be triggered and you can blow up. So find a space and time for yourself to deal with the shadows, and be compassionate and gentle with yourself, even if you can't. Maybe if you just feel like crap, or if you just feel really angry, it's okay. Just feel that. You have the right to just feel that. And we're all humans, so, but there is an opportunity to actually do some inner work and to determine what is your truth and value and principle in this situation. And I think that's the next step. I believe that's the next thing you can do, is to be clear about who you really are, what your values are, what your intentions are, so that no matter what other people say, you know where you stand. And you have to be a mountain. You have to get the inspiration and call in also the spirit of the mountains around us, because mountains, they know their place. They own their place. They know who they are. They know what they do. They know their purpose. And they are like you. You can't, it's hard to move a mountain, because they're grounded, they're connected to earth, they're part of earth, and they know that. So it's very important to learn from the mountains, the spirit of mountains and physical manifestation of mountains, to embody their strength and their wisdom and their humility, yet their magnificence, because it's important in our lives that we know who we are, and to be grounded in who we really are, in our connection to the divine, to Mother Earth, and to everything that is of highest good. So this is an opportunity actually to connect with your higher self, your soul, and to be reminded of your sacred right and who you really are. And when you're really, really connected to that, if you practice that every day, it's going to be hard for any facade, for anything that is superficial and shallow and easy to break you. So if you look at it this way, it's actually an opportunity to become stronger. When someone projects negative things to you and accuses you of things, they're actually doing you a favor by making you a better person, by giving you an opportunity to really know who you are and stand by yourself. Many times it's nice to know that other people stand by you, stand by me, but I think that before that, what's really important is to know that you stand by yourself. And I want to give you an example, because I want to also, practice my storytelling and being vulnerable with you guys. My experience of this was, I was in a place where I helped hosted a group, let's say gathering. And I was at the place when I was starting to speak up. I was starting to own my knowledge. I was starting to own my wisdom and share and be confident. And when I see crap, I just, it's crap. I'm not going to pretend that I like something when I don't. And I'm not going to pretend that things are okay when they're not. I'm not going to pretend to someone that they're not acting shitty if they are. And then what I got was, there's a lady that came up to me and said, Amaya, I think you should think about how you present yourself to people, because people are going to think and ask, who are you? Who do you think you are to be acting like you know everything? At least that's the energy that I got from this person. And typically usually before I would feel attacked and super offended, and I would usually go into the victim mentality of why people treat me this way. I didn't do anything to you all, blah, those things, which is, if you tend to be like that, it's okay. But at that moment, even though I did still feel a little, what do you call it, sting, it was stingy, I decided to speak up for myself, to be my own advocate. And I told this person, I said that, thank you for your feedback. So I managed to be polite. I said, thank you for your feedback. What did I say? I said, thank you for your feedback. And the only way I know I can present myself is to be who I am, to be who I authentically am. And I said, I've been through so many things in this life. I've climbed mountains, high and low mountains, literally and figuratively. I've been in so many situations that other people probably haven't been into, and I gained so much wisdom in that journey. I did things that other people would not even dare to do, and I did them, and I learned so much, and I learned myself. So even though maybe I'm not certified in some other things or whatever she was expecting me to be before I can say things, I have the right and credibility in my own actions and my own being, in my own journey, in my own sense of values and principles, to say what the hell I want to say, to be who I really am and whoever I want to be. And even if I don't, it's my birthright to just speak up and be myself, regardless. And I don't need to think about how to present myself, because I am who I am. Take it or leave it. As long as I know that I am aligned with my values and my principles, and I'm not hurting anyone, and my intentions are good for everyone, I'm not harming, I don't need to do anything for you. But I did that in a polite way, and I still said thank you for hosting us. And it's still good to be to take the high road. And I have not completely closed the door to this person. I'm learning how to give people second chances and to forgive as well. And I know that everyone is on their own journey of learning. Maybe this person needs to learn a lesson from me, but I know that eventually this person is going to become a better person, because that is what evolution is about. Each one of us, we become better if we choose to. But if she doesn't want to become better, that's also her choice. I respect that. But, her projection didn't need to determine me and my life. In fact, it made me become more bolder and more sure of myself. And I had to, speaking up to her was, yes, I kind of asserted who I am to her, but it was more of affirming that to myself. Speaking up to other people help, when I seeing myself do that, gives encourages more trust within me that I have my back, and I showed that to myself. I confirmed that to myself. I can trust myself that I will advocate for myself. And seeing myself do that encourages a lot of trust inside of me, and lets me know who I really am. It reminds me of who I really am. So that situation was actually very good for my own self-development, my own self-empowerment. It gave me the opportunity to show myself how much I love myself, and how much I believe in myself, and how much I trust in my own inner compass, inner intuition, inner knowing, inner self, inner being, sacred self. So next time someone projects something onto you, think about this. You know, there's nothing they can do to you unless you allow it. You always have the choice to be with you, and don't abandon yourself when other people expects you to. Don't take their life scripts. Like, other people's projections are also life scripts, societal scripts that they want to impose on you. They want you to play a certain part in their whatever idea of who you are is, that benefits their own ego or their own dysfunctionalities. You don't need to take it. Create your own life script, create your own story. Stick with it, be bold with it, claim it. Like, claim it, and every day that you tell that to yourself. Anything else, spirit guides? I am a vessel for these messages. I want to thank my spirit guides. I want to thank the higher beings who are channeling through me, because I know when I'm passionate about it, it means that someone needs to hear this. And I hope that this resonated for you. I hope that this helps you. We, light workers, even if you're not a light worker, a human, whatever being, we are all needed in this earth right now, and we need to shine our light in this earth right now, and we need you, and we need each other. And so I'm doing this because I really want to amplify all of our light in earth, so that our earth can finally be alive and thrive again. And that includes all of us. There's a space for all of us. There's enough sky for all of our sparkling lights. So I hope that we shine brighter and brighter together. And I hope this resonated. If it did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe, and also leave a comment in the comment section to let me know how this resonated to you. And if you have any additional comments about this topic, I would greatly appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys. And with that, I hope you have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your year, rest of your moments. And till next time, sparkling lights, I'll see you. Blessings.